Michelle Obama is overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing. I was just joking with her, just a harmless comment with no bad intent, but she took it and framed it as racism and a personal attack, which is not how I meant it at all. I'll admit, saying that inside the White House wasn't very respectful. But anyone who knows me knows I've always made jokes like this after winning matches or in casual situations. It's just how I talk sometimes. I've even said worse things before, and it was never turned into something this serious. I was just trying to lighten the mood a bit. What I said is nothing close to the kind of trash talk athletes throw at each other before games. So I don't understand why this one comment is being singled out. Is it because her last name is Obama? Or because of her skin color? When did everything in the U.S. start getting turned into racial politics like this? I can apologize and accept consequences if needed, but I still don't think I did anything wrong. Michelle Obama is overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing.
Oh, Josh, you could have handled that so much better. But you didn't. You could have apologized. You could have made it right. But instead, you accused a woman that you used as a butt of a cheap joke. Or you called it a joke. But a lot of us didn't find that funny. But you chose to blame her for overreacting. You lost your sponsorships. You've been taken off of the card, I guess that's a thing. So the UFC is kind of canceling you, and your brands are canceling you, and you're being sued, and rightfully so. So, yeah, maybe in the future, don't even say shit like that. But also, the next best thing when you fuck up is to apologize. Okay?
A UFC fighter named Josh Hockey calls Michelle Obama a man. And now he says that she is overreacting because she is suing him for defamation. So the UFC fighter named Josh Hockey, he has a UFC fight on the White House lawn. And he finally wins a fight. Because from what I hear and what the people are saying is that he hardly ever wins any fights. So for him to sit up there and not enjoy his win and celebrate his win, but the first thing he wanted to do was take the time to insult the former First Lady Michelle Obama, it's giving weird. I cannot understand when people come out insulting the former First Lady Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. It's that the Obamas have not been in the White House for almost a decade. It's giving that you are obsessed. It's giving that the Obamas are living rent-free in your motherfucking head. It's giving that you need to seek motherfucking help. I mean, we get it though. We know what it is. Y'all couldn't fuck with the Obamas on their worst motherfucking day because they don't even have one. Michelle Obama is the most accomplished first lady that we ever had. She graduated from Princeton. She graduated from Harvard. She was a lawyer. She was a dean of students, author, mother, wife, first lady. She is the epitome of black excellence. So is the former president, Barack Obama. Y'all couldn't fuck with a picture of neither one of them. And that's what fucks you up so bad. But the thing about Josh Hockey is, he is the company that he keeps. He was at the White House on the White House lawn when he had the UFC fight. So are we surprised that he said this? No, we are not. Cheeto probably told him to say that. Need I remind y'all that about a month or two ago, Cheeto Puff posted Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys. They cannot take the Obamas. It's too much for them. They don't exude the class and the black excellence that they have. We will never have that in the White House again. Ever. Never. And they can't take that. And that's what it is. But you don't get to come out and say that somebody's overreacting after you said what you said. That was very disrespectful. That was disgusting. That was distasteful. But once again, you are the company that you keep.
Stop the press. Flag on the play. Y'all help me out real quick. How long has it been since Obama first took term? Hadn't it been damn near 17 years, almost 3 terms? And we have yet to see a palm-colored person keep the Obama's name out of their Anglo-Saxons pothole, including that man on Pennsylvania Avenue. And I guess Beyonce was right when she said, you know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. Because it's no way in the world after all these years. This lady ain't did nothing to nobody. She ain't even took office. She minds her business and get to her bag. And for some reason, her name, her existence makes y'all balls draw up. Like, man, you won the game. You won the fight. Why was it that her name was the sweetest name on your tongue that you needed to taste after a win? It's because you're quite literally obsessed. And not only are you obsessed with her, you're obsessed with her husband. It quite literally makes y'all stomach curl. Stay up all night thinking about how 2 successful Black people were able to be in office 17 years ago, and people were able to absolutely adore them on both sides. And y'all hate that. It gives you heart palpitations, and I love that for you. But Michelle, I get it. You want to do things in decency and in order, and you always have. You always prided yourself on having integrity. Your motto literally is, when they go low, we go high. But baby, it's time to go to the pits of hell on their asses.
Michelle Obama is overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing.
You know, at this point, I'm just going to say this. White people are always talking about how they have black fatigue, which, by the way, Black Fatigue was a book by Mary Frances Winters talking about you all, and you took the phrase and appropriated it and tried to make it seem like y'all sick of us. Well, I got news for you. If you got black fatigue, I got white exhaustion. Because you know good and damn well that this whole thing has been floating around about MAGA calling Michelle Obama a man. And then you said it, and then you're going to double back and say, well, she's blowing this way out of proportion, when black women are the most disrespected demographic. We are disrespected about our skin color. We are disrespected about our hair. We are deemed as masculine because we excel. If you excel, you're masculine. If you own your own business, own your own home, own your own car, make your own money, you give off masculine energy. You're not feminine. You know, this has just been an exhausting week. From Carmelo Anthony to the whole Michelle Obama is a man thing, to this 1-year-old baby losing his life over fucking diapers. Which, by the way, the diapers were paid for. Don't come in my comment section with that bullshit about the police did the right thing because he was in fear of his life. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because you're going to get all the smoke from me. Y'all got black fatigue. We have white exhaustion. Okay? White exhaustion. I'm exhausted with y'all. It's getting on my nerves. She's blowing it out of proportion when all we've ever been looked at as a group of women as masculine, loud monkeys. Hostile, angry, loud. So because she is smart and accomplished, a Princeton grad, a Harvard law grad, she is a man. And I got news for you. If somebody, let that have been a black athlete that made that comment about Melania Trump, oh my fucking God. Oh my God. All hell and high water would break loose. And then you got Joe Rogan standing his ass right there, kikiing. You know, I'm going to say this. Maybe, I'm going to give a little bit of grace. Maybe Joe Rogan was caught off guard and was not expecting this man to say that. And all he could do was give that nervous grin. I don't know. But nobody, not even Donald Trump, not J.D. Vance, nobody's come out and said, you know, that was pretty distasteful. And then in his apology, it is not apology if you say, I apologize, but. The but negates the whole apology, sir. It's not an apology anymore. It's not. You throwing in a but. That shit was foul that you said, and you know it was foul. And that's why you losing all this money and losing all these endorsements. And that's the only reason why you're even opening your mouth to say, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but. Because now you losing everything. As you should. As you should. And then for you to say she's blowing it out of proportion, Michelle Obama hasn't even responded to you. That's just how classy she is. She's so classy that she don't even come down to your scuzz bucket level. She gonna let you have it. Because she ain't got to. Because when you're classy, it speaks for itself. And when you're trashy, it looks like you. Have a nice weekend.
Michelle Obama is overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing.
Today's story centers on a fighter whose comments about former First Lady Michelle Obama sparked a wave of criticism online. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, drop your comments in the comment section, and of course, click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our latest discussions. Calling Michelle Obama a man was so rude, insulting, and diminishing. Worst of it all, this was done in the presence of the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, who didn't see anything wrong with the statement made by this Latino fighter. And now, the same Latino fighter claims Michelle Obama is overreacting. He says he was simply complimenting her and not insulting her. The million-dollar question is, why at that moment? Why mention her name at that moment?
A UFC fighter at the White House called Obama's wife a man. Why? His name is Josh Hokett, and after he won his round, the very last minute on the microphone, he said, lastly, Michelle Obama is a man, am I right, America? To which the crowd mostly booed, but some cheered. And Trump was seen smiling after. He smiled? Well, at first, he removed the chain that same fighter gave him, but then they saw a half smile on his face. And this looks bad for Trump because just a couple months ago, he posted Obama and his wife as apes. Why would he do that? Trump claimed that he had no idea there was apes at the end of the video that depicted Obama and Michelle as them. But at the same time, in another interview, he said he posted it as a joke and it wasn't meant to be taken serious. Only there are no apes in The Lion King. Because the ape video of Obama and Michelle had Lion King music playing in the background as well.
How can he claim to not know it was in there, but at the same time say it was a joke?
Well, that's why people are calling him out for smiling when the fighter said Michelle Obama's a man. Because it was not only misogynistic and racist, but transphobic. The fighter clearly felt comfortable enough to say something like that at the White House in front of the president.
Yeah, why would he feel comfortable enough to say that?
Well, Trump is the same person that's called many colored officials low IQ, potentially making MAGA believe racism is okay. And after the fighter stated what he stated, Trump started praising him online. It's like transphobia, racism, and misogyny fly under the radar in the White House, as if they're secretly okay with it.
Nobody should be spoken of in that manner based off of the way they were born when they haven't done it.
Josh Hokett was the perfect representation of this whole fiasco. First at the weigh-in, he came out, staggered out, and while standing there, it looked like vomit trickling from his mouth. And he said something about, I've been drinking. Who wouldn't? Now they're saying that that was a joke, that wasn't real. Who would think that's a joke? Who would think that's funny? Them. And then after his bout that he won, first he thanked his Lord and Savior, of course. And then he said that Michelle Obama was a man. You know, the old bullshit MAGA thing. I think even Joe Rogan didn't know what to do. But there you go. There was a perfect representation of this whole fiasco. Are these people Americans? Yeah. Every family has members you're embarrassed of. A creepy uncle, a cousin that smells like beer and regrets. They just put our embarrassing ones out there for the world to see. So to the world, this is not a representation of the citizens of this country. And now Trump's announced he's going to have a rally for July 4th. A rally. At another monument. Oh, God. So trashy and corrupt.
They said the same thing about Venus and Serena. Every time a black woman becomes something, others, some people from that side try to take a shot at them. It's been going on. I mean, when is it going to be enough?
Mm-hmm. And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Ladies.
We are coming up on the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. That is 250 years since they signed the Declaration of Independence. That is 250 years of this grand experiment. Can the people govern themselves? And we should celebrate that. That's a huge accomplishment, a huge achievement for us as a country and us as a people. It should be celebrated, and in true American fashion, we're gonna celebrate it loudly. I don't have an issue with how this administration is celebrating that. The flyovers, the motocross, even the UFC fights. I have no issue with that. Combat sports have been an integral part of American culture for decades. My problem is that when one of the fighters is invited to participate in this prestigious event, the celebration of 250 years of American existence, I guess, and they show up to what is arguably a great honor, and they act like this. They show up to the weigh-in, and yeah, he said it was an act afterwards, but that doesn't make it better. I think it makes it worse. You show up acting like you're drunk, literally puking over yourself on international television. Sir, you are representing all of us right now, and you're acting like a fool. And then, when you win your fight against Fearless Leader's favorite fighter, by the way, let me throw that in there, do you say, oh yeah, 250 years, here's to 250 more, go America or USA or anything like that? No, you don't. You spout off with direct insults towards a former first lady of this great country. Sir, what is wrong with you? It's... Being invited to participate in this event should have been the highest honor for you. Why are you not acting accordingly? Why are you showing your ass on international television while representing all of us? You should be behaving with some self-respect, with some decorum befitting the honor of the role that you are in right now. This, not okay in any sense. It's just not. It's not okay. It's tasteless. It's childish. It's immature. I expect fighters to go into the ring and hype themselves up. I expect fighters to go in and, put on a show. I expect you to be amped up. I expect you to make a big thing of it. Yes, absolutely, do that. Direct insults against your former first lady, not it. Acting like this on international television while representing the rest of us and literally puking on yourself, going, oh, so what? Maybe I was drinking last night. Like that somehow makes it better. Not okay. Do better.
Well, I wasn't shocked by that derogatory comment made about Michelle Obama by that raggedy UFC fighter, because I remember that the company that you keep often tells a much bigger story than the one that you tell on your own. Because what continues to happen is that Donald just happens to find himself at the intersection of despicable people who build themselves up at the expense of tearing other people down. All God-fearing Christians, by the way. Every time this happens, MAGA says it's a coincidence, but at a certain point, you can't keep blaming a coincidence on the actions of a person who chooses to put people in their circle. And purportedly, Donald Trump is the president of peace. He can end wars, he can end conflict. conflicts. He can bring people together all around the world, but he doesn't know how to unite the people living here in these alleged United States? That doesn't sound like strength to me. True strength would be you regulating your emotions, you having restraint, you building bridges instead of tearing them down. And that's why this comment about Michelle Obama doesn't surprise me at all, because the company that Donald keeps seeks to inflame rage rather than to inspire change. During one of his campaigns, a comedian called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. They said he had nothing to do with that. His name is all up and through the Epstein files, and people that are connected with him, they said he has nothing to do with that. His supporters stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They said he had nothing to do with that. Posted the Obamas as monkeys on his Truth Social account, and they said it was a staffer. He had nothing to do with that. Now a UFC fighter is on the White House lawn and chooses to use a derogatory remark to respond to the former First Lady? Are these coincidences? I think not. It's the company that he keeps. The good book says in 1 Corinthians, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Instead of reaching for a middle school insult, you could have uplifted Americans. You could have encouraged Americans. You could have talked about the divisiveness in our country. You could have rebuked power. You could have shown young boys what dedication and hard work can get you. But you'd rather win the fight and still lose the moment. And if you really wanted to deliver a swift read, what you could have done is said, we're not standing far from our new $14 million reflection pool. That's a perfect symbol of Donald Trump and his administration. A swamp that's supposed to be drained, but that is more green, murky, and vile than it was before. But none of that happened because the company that Donald keeps is not coincidental, it's curated. The president himself calls half this nation scum and unworthy of decency and human respect, and these are the same people who claim to walk in the steps of Jesus. But I promise you, the cross that you wear is not the same cross that Jesus chose to bear. Some are just learning that this administration is willing to sacrifice anybody to grift and get ahead, but I suggest that you start looking at the company that they keep, because that'll give you the clear answer even when they tell you otherwise. And to the UFC fighter, the irony of you throwing that jab at Mrs. Obama is that it swung back around and knocked you out instead, because you thought calling her a man was an insult, and it was, but not for the reason that you think, but because you have just shown in real time what the worst qualities of being a man looks like.
A UFC fight on the White House lawn, sponsored by Bud Light, and only viewable on Larry Ellison's Paramount Plus network. That sums up this Trump administration and the America 250 celebration. The corporate oligarchs using the government for profit. Trump using the government for profit. And it was a total and complete embarrassment. The United States has been completely humiliated, especially after fighter Josh Hockett went on last night and called Michelle Obama a man, and Joe Rogan smiled, Trump smirked. It was a disgusting display of debauchery, and it should not be stood for, especially when Josh Hockett came out the night before to weigh in completely inebriated and was throwing up all over himself. Is this what America is, everyone? Are these our values now? Is this what we're doing to celebrate this country's 250 years of existence? We know now there is nothing beneath Trump or any of these people, and it is time for us to take the American flag back. We can no longer associate it with MAGA and this level of incompetence and stupidity. It is time we reclaim our flag.
Michelle Obama is a man. And a lot of people were stunned by this, shocked by this. Other people felt as though it should have been condemned right away, which it should have. You have President Trump sitting right there. You got Dana White sitting right there, and you've got Joe Rogan holding the microphone. He doesn't say anything either. Now, after this, a lot of people have come out and said, how dare he